You ready?
Mm-hmm. And we have to remember to look there because in one of the last episodes you were looking over there.
Oh no!
Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Big Sis Little Bro Making Show Holiday Edition. Yay! We're on holiday. I'm Jess, I'm the big sis. I normally live in Oxfordshire with my husband and my daughter, but we've come to France.
And I'm Jack, I'm the little bro, and I usually live in Oxford with my partner, but I too am in France.
Yay!
Bon. So yes, this is hopefully a quick,
short and sweet
episode. So let's go straight in with the exciting news. We've had so many amazing responses to our giveaway. Thank you so much for all the comments. No, we just wish we could give you all something.
I would absolutely love that. Imagine.
Oh, wouldn't it be amazing?
Maybe
if
we
could?
need merch one day.
I mean, it's been incredible, the number of lovely comments. Again,
so lovely. And especially thank you to people who responded. We asked for some scrappy pattern suggestions. There are some awesome ones. I particularly will be looking those up. I'm thinking we might do a scrappy advent swap between us and some knitty friends. So definitely looking for more. Sorry, we've got a lot of wildlife around us. So yeah, we're really going to check out those scrappy projects, and you might see some of them here soon. And also thank you to everyone who. Oh my goodness, what was that? What is that? Okay, terrifying. We're being joined by the supernatural, and a lot of people also have problems with water dripping down their arms, so that's nice to know that I'm not just shouting into the void. We all are. As always, beautiful comments. We're so grateful. We're really sorry we can't reply to everybody. I think it would be a full-time job now because you're all so amazing, but we really read everyone, and absolutely it fills our hearts with
and
love.
So many of them for last week had the word bird in them, which was
so exciting.
The way to enter the giveaway. So we're gonna randomly select a winner, aren't we?
Yeah.
We'll use a random number generator, and we'll put your name on the screen. So if your name has just appeared on the screen, please do send us your address.
So one thing we forgot to say last time, because we are absolutely terrible podcasters, is that the giveaway comes with a free pattern from our wonderful friend Becky. So Becky is the sister of Claire of Bird Street Design. So it's all a wonderful family giveaway. They have been so kind to us and so generous. And the lovely Becky has offered one of her patterns for free to the winner as well. So her patterns are on Ravelry. I will again link her. And when you send us your email to say that you've to tell us your address, and our email address is below as well and on the screen at the beginning, please let us know which of her designs you would like, because it's super generous of her. I'm about to talk about one of her designs later, actually. Spoiler alert. If you're outside the UK, I'm sure you're all aware, we are posting from the UK, so there may be some extra customs charges and stuff. Hopefully not. Just if you are outside, just to be aware of that. But yeah, we're excited to share the love.
Really excited and a little bit envious because that Bird Street yarn is beautiful.
But swag, spoiler alert. Before then, I was going to ask about your FOs.
Oh, you start.
Okay, I'll start. So because we're on holiday, I haven't brought my FO with me, but I have taken photos which Jack will miraculously add here. Actually, maybe here over my own face.
No, in the middle.
In the middle. So professional. So I have finished my Sophie scarf, which was a lovely knit actually, really easy, really simple. I mean, I will say that you did have, it was like an 8-row repeat. I don't want to give too much away, but I can't count to 8, as we've discussed. I can't do maths, so I had to like write out a little chart for myself, but it was very enjoyable. It was nice, sort of fairly mindless, but just with a little bit of interest. I made it out of Knitting for Olive Merino in the lavender blue colourway. And I think, yeah, I used 3.5mm needles, which is the same as the pattern. Sorry, all we're ever going to see in this is this piece of hair. the real third host of the show. About the yarn, I would say it's fairly pricey, Knitting for Olive, as we're probably all aware. while I was knitting it, I didn't feel it was actually the softest merino I've ever worked with, and I was a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but just a little bit sort of like, oh, it's not actually that soft. But I will say the finished object is super drapey, and it's really nice actually. It's turned out really nicely. I've not blocked it yet, but it's already looking lovely, so I'm really pleased with that.
Could I ask you about the length of it?
Yes.
How did that come
Well,
out?
I carried on longer because it was, as I discussed in the last episode, it was ridiculously short for the amount of yarn I had. I still didn't use up a full ball of yarn, I just got bored. But I knitted a little bit longer. I took some extremely unflattering photos of myself, which you can put up if you want.
Definitely.
But it was, yeah, so it's a bit longer just to make it a bit more wearable for me, because much as I would love to be one of those sort of incredibly chic people who can just tie a little tiny thing around, I sort of need more of an actual, well, scarf. So yeah, really pleased with that. What about your faux?
It's my first ever faux on the pod. I'm very excited, and it's the Peacock socks, which I know have featured in every single episode so far, but now they're actually finished. How do I display them well?
Hang on. Like so.
Yes, I'm rather pleased with them, I have to say. As I mentioned before, it's a self-striping yarn. It's West Yorkshire Spinners Peacock, and that made it really, really easy as a kind of travelling project, because it's very small and there was literally no thinking involved, really. So, yeah, fantastic. Do you have any more?
I was going to ask what's shadow, well, I've just spoiled it. What you used for anyone who hasn't watched before.
It's a shadow wrap heel.
Link below, like everything else.
It's my favourite.
I think her name's Denise. She is wonderful.
What I love about the shadow wrap is that it just is very kind of natural, in line with the rest of the project. So there's no kind of needing to hold stitches or anything like that. So for me, it's the easiest way to do it, and yeah, really, really pleased. So you've got another FO?
Well, I've got a hoe, because I've got one sock finished, so it's not really a faux.
Remind me what a hoe is?
Well, it's a half finished object, but that should be a fur. So I just go hoe for half object, which I think we all do, really.
Sure.
So this is a sock that I started last time. Yay, rainbow. Not much to say. My own sort of vanilla-y sock pattern. So I do quite a long cuff and then just a very straightforward leg. Also a shadow wrap heel. Mine look very pointy, but if I put it on like a sock puppet, you can see, oh no, that just looks even worse. It does sort of, honestly, it looks normal on a foot. But yeah, this is Paintbox yarn socks in stripes rainbow. It's nice. It's a kind of workhorsey yarn. It's a little bit woolly, but that's absolutely fine on my feet. It has a slightly weird, like occasionally it's got these little bits where there's no dye on it. I don't particularly mind that. It's just a little kind of jog in it, but yeah, there's one on the heel. It's all right. They're just very nice, happy colours. So one of them done.
So the little undyed bits, would that worry you if this was a gift, or is it just part of the?
Well, do you know what? I'm going to come back to this in our knitosophy section because it's relevant. What about some whips in the whip pile?
Oh, well, maybe I could start and just reintroduce this lento, which I mentioned in the first episode.
Oh, it's so lovely.
But I've come back to it because it's so light, and I knew we were going to be coming away to sunnier weather, and so I really wanted something light and fun, and this ticked all of the boxes. I'm just really overexcited about it because of the yarns involved, particularly. So I'm holding the CoopKnits socks, yeah, with HJ yarn, planty, bamboo, kind of mad rainbow, which is really lovely, and I love how it plays with the CoopKnits.
Yeah, it's really, really nice together.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I will say, picking it up again has made me noticed that there were lots of mistakes in
No,
it.
it's individual.
It's individual, but yeah, the raglan increases are interesting. Interesting.
Do you know what though? I think you can get away with it on this texture because, well, they look fine actually to me. But the raglan is quite hidden really in a way, isn't it? By the sort of variation of colour means that it's quite hidden. I think if you were doing a very, very block colour, then the raglans, you can really see an error, especially if it's a sort of light coloured yarn and then halfway through there's just a totally random different bit. Which I'm definitely, from experience, I have done that before. It's quite visible.
I'm definitely using that excuse because there's no way I'm knitting back. It will be what it will be.
I'm really glad you picked that up again because it's beautiful and it's kind of like, it's subtly mad. I like that.
Bit like me.
Like us. There's nothing subtle about our madness actually. So I'm really sorry because two of these are things that I have spoken about before, so everyone's probably really bored of the mountain mist. But so what I did with this is I have forced myself to knit on this by making this my car knitting on the way to France. So we've come to France in the car via the train that you drive onto, which is so magical and fun. Le Château. And I basically just only made, like, this was the only thing I could reach, so I had to knit on it, which means I've nearly finished the body, which is very exciting. So
you know what?
I've made a fair bit of progress. Oh gosh, that looks like no progress at all.
No.
I was really congratulating myself.
That is actually a lot of progress.
There's a lot of stitches per row.
It's really exciting to see how the dark blue body plays with the lighter yolk on the mountain mist.
It's really nice. I'm sorry, it's very sort of blown out in the sun, but it is a beautiful pattern. It's Tin Can Knits. I've spoken about it at length before, but if anyone's new, it's beautiful, really lovely, simple pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's a great first colour work actually. If you hadn't done colour work before, it's also a really nice, you know, the sweater itself is very simple construction. And the colour work is super easy. You're only ever doing 2 colours at a time. There aren't particularly long floats. I think maybe 1 or 2 rows I had to do the sort of catching the yarn so that you don't get incredibly long floats, which you then stick a finger through and, you know, pull everything tightly. Oh goodness. But yeah, lovely pattern. I'm using Drops Charisma in various colours, mostly called something teal. Again, we'll put all of the actual colours below.
We'll also link the pattern below.
We will. We'll link everything we speak about below. So if we speak about any particularly lovely yarn dyers or anything, we'll try and put that all below. So yeah, that's chugging away. I'm hoping, a bit like you with your Cedar sweater, I'm hoping to do quite a chunky rib at the bottom, just to sort of cinch it in a little bit. But yeah, really happy with that. What's your next one?
On the topic of that Cedar sweater, there was no way that I could touch it in the summer. I've just resigned myself. It's an autumn-winter project. I will return to it. But
well, apparently we're returning to autumn in the UK tomorrow.
Thank goodness for that. But just before we get to autumn, I have balled up my Bird Street Beach Ready yarn.
Yeah, we're still in holiday vibes. Shall I hold it up to the screen while you chat?
I've been knitting it up
into
a sock, which is this. So just again, this is
so beautifully.
Just the way it's knitting up makes me so happy. And beautiful. The thing is, it's so soft and like glides off the needles. For me, this is a lot of progress actually.
It's loads
having
of
started this since we last podcasted, so it's only been on the needles a few weeks, and it's just sort of flown by. I'm really excited, and I love the way it's knitting up. The colours are just so me, I think. So I'm really, really thrilled, and I'm really lucky to have managed to get their summer sock set. I think they've got some more sock sets and things on their website, haven't they? So yes, look out for other colourways and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my last whip. Have you got any more?
I have. That was extremely delayed reaction, sorry. Had a very large coffee before this and it absolutely hasn't kicked in. So I'm still plugging away on my little fluffy scarf, but I will say I have actually made quite a lot of progress on this as well. So I have a short bus commute into work, and this is my bus knitting, and so I don't always get loads done, but actually, as I said in the last, sorry, I'm just removing some actual grass from it. As I said in the last one, I think a row really doesn't take very long. So even if you, and like in terms of the amount of progress you make per row.
Can I just hold up?
Yeah. So we have made progress.
And look at this drape. I mean, it's so soft.
Yeah,
and absolutely
I think that's
beautiful.
where I was on the last podcast. So we've got, you know,
wow, that is way more progress than I could boast.
I think I mentioned this in the last podcast. I've like lost 6 stitches somewhere. It's really obvious at the beginning, like it goes whoo. But we're just gonna block and no one's gonna care. It's fine. It's gonna have one slightly flary end, and that's just, you know, the vibes.
You can make that a feature. You could flare the last bit.
Well, I could.
But you're not going to.
So this is Mode at Rowan. It's in the shade silver, which is 012, I think 012. Yeah, really beautiful. As I mentioned last time, I am just sort of adapting a pattern that I saw on a sample at the Oxford Yarn store, which we should always shout out because it's so lovely. This is the second ball. Yeah, I hope that's the right way around. I can never remember if it is. I've still got this much of the first ball to go, so I'm very confident, possibly wrongly, that knitting both balls of it in full will create a really long, lovely, drapey, autumny scarf. It's so light.
Will.
I've got past the bit where I hated knitting it because it was a bit fiddly, and I'm so sorry.
But also, it does really suit that kind of cozy autumn vibe.
Yeah.
It's going to be lovely.
It's going to be really nice. Have you got any more whips?
That's all from me.
Oh, I've got a new whip.
Yes, definitely.
It's so much. So this is just the Bird Street podcast, as it always is, and I'm not sad about that. So I managed to get one of the Bird Street mystery sock sets, which I never normally do a mystery because I'm a bit of a control freak and I like to know what I'm buying. But we know Claire and John, and I sort of thought they're gonna know what we like, and boy did they smash it. So I got one of these little bags. Has it got a little bit of French coffee on it as a souvenir from our holiday? I couldn't possibly comment. I did try and get it off. So they sent me the most beautiful, the mystery sock colour. I've balled it up by hand just because we were on holiday and I thought bringing a ball winder was a bit OTT. But isn't that beautiful? I mean, sorry, we know the lighting's not ideal here, but it was this or sit with the sun directly in our eyes, which wasn't flattering for anyone. So it's a kind of... It's sort of creamy grey. It's got light blue, little tiny flecks of teal, you can see like here, and little browns. I mean, to be honest, it's giving beach vibes, very like your beach sock. Yes. But it's a little bit more subtle and way more like my vibes are quite subtle and kind of little deep earthy hues. And it's just hit the spot. So I opened it and I literally gasped. Like, I know when people say like, oh, I gasped when I saw it. I'm like, I actually opened it and went, and it's so lovely. So I thought I would stay in the family because the beautiful and wonderful Becky, Claire's sister, because she's so lovely, gifted me one of her sock patterns, and I had to make it because it's called the Stella and Jeff sock, and it's inspired by the Lay family yarn dog, Jeff, who is the cutest. If anyone has seen the Lay family yarn podcast and their when they do sort of special dyeing with other podcasters, Jeff usually features. He's super cute. And so also adorable. Stella, who I think was their family dog. So I've modified it slightly because it's written really beautifully, but for magic loop, and I'm using DPNs because, as I've discussed before, I like 4 stabby needles to play with. That's kind of my way of doing it. I tried to adapt the maths. The maths was not my friend. I tried so hard, and because I really wanted to make the exact sock, but my brain is too stupid and I had holiday mode. So I've ended up just doing the sort of lace pattern from the front panel of the sock, but I'm not sad about it because look, how cute is this? I hope you can see. They're basically little tiny paw prints, and it is so stinking cute. I absolutely love it, and I'm sorry, it really is, it's kind of shading and blowing out at the same time, which is a feat really. It's got this beautiful little lace at the top. It does have a twisted rib, but I cannot get on with a twisted rib, so I'm really sorry, Becky, I just didn't do it. But it's really, really cute and so lovely. The sock set came with a contrast, so I've just done a few rows at the top, and it's just the yarn. Like Jack said, it's so soft, it's really beautiful to work with. It doesn't like split or do anything annoying. The pattern is beautiful. So this is just basically a love-in for that family. Like, thank goodness we met them, because these are now
they're gorgeous, and the contrast colour, I have to say,
really
is
nice.
so well
really
suited.
Nice. I wonder if I could, yes, quickly flash it up. So it's a lovely
blue,
lovely sort of paley, tealy, yeah, really, really nice.
I'm calling it ocean because I like the idea that we're both doing a kind of beach themed sock.
So that's our holiday knits.
Yes. Next up's the knitosophy section. What's our topic?
So, my question to you this week, Jack, is what is a lesson that knitting or making in general has taught you, other than that your sister's hair is uncontrollable?
I already knew that. I love that question. That's a really lovely suggestion.
Thanks, I made it myself.
For me, do you know what it's taught me? It doesn't matter if one has to take small steps to achieve big things. You know, I often apply it to my own life, actually, just telling myself one stitch at a time, no matter what I'm dealing with. It makes me remember to stop trying to rush through the process of things and to just go with that little increment. Yeah, that's
celebrating small wins.
Love that. Yes, that.
That's a really nice one. That's lovely. I wish I'd done something that deep. I haven't.
What's your response?
So mine is just, again, quite a simple one really, which is that it doesn't always have to be perfect, and I think it's safe to say that anyone who's ever met me will confirm I'm a bit of a perfectionist and have been known to sort of get like 99% the way through something and then it's not perfect and I've had to like rip it apart and start again. So you'd think that crafting could be a bit of a nightmare, but actually, so that's what I meant with that sock, like that in a way I would think would really bother me, but actually I've made it. It's a really nice sock, it's lovely. And
sorry, what would bother you?
Like the little jogs where there's no colour, the undyed bits. Sorry,
right.
I didn't link that very well at all. And when I first looked at it, I was like, it's not perfect. And, you know, I wasn't going to rip it out and start again, but I was a bit like, ugh, it's ruined. And then I just thought, is it though? It's fine. It's a really nice sock. The colours are beautiful. And there's just a few little tiny white bits. That's all right. And that kind of ability to let go a little bit of the idea of everything being completely squeaky clean and perfect has been really good for my control freak tendencies. Things like the fact that scarf goes in a little bit, or my mountain mist has definitely got some like wonky bits of colour work or whatever, but that's just life, isn't it?
I really love that, not least because that's a kind of lesson that I think the universe keeps trying to teach me, and I'm still learning it, but I love that.
We probably all are.
That generosity to oneself and to the project, which in my mind has a kind of life of its own, definitely helps with that kind of need to control. And yeah.
So.
Oh, brilliant.
Well, it would be lovely to hear what you've learned, really. I don't know why I was looking at you. I meant you. So what you as viewers have learned, sort of what lessons learned seems a bit stern and weird, but like what things that have been taught to you, or things that you've discovered through crafting, sort of either about yourself or little things that have maybe changed for you. Like I feel that the rest of my life has become a little bit less rigid and perfectionist because of this. Sorry, every time I look at you the sun is directly in my eyes, so if I look furious, that's just because I'm trying not to be blinded. Yeah, so we'd love to know. Let us know in the comments. We really do love reading your comments. I know we could just say that flippantly, but we actually we do kind of want to take the time to read everyone, and it's really quite incredible to us still that our little corner of the internet is receiving so much love, so we're super, super grateful.
I don't think I'll ever get used to it, but
No.
I'm bowled over.
In a lovely way.
Everyone is so sweet.
Yeah, you're the best.
Shall we share some swag?
Some swag.
Now, we don't always, contrary to what it might seem, we don't always go shopping for yarn, but we do like to shop our stash. That might be something we could share today, because we don't have anything brand new, but we do.
Well,
have...
I do, but I've already shared it.
Yeah, maybe I'll start. You were talking about knitting for Olive. I bought this lovely knitting for Olive. Was it earlier this year when I visited Denmark? And it's just this lovely kind of sea foamy really greeny blue colour. And I did get it in order to make a Sophie scarf. I think I still will, but
it's compatible cashmere, so it's a different base to the one I have.
Right. So this is the thing I'm wondering about is how big of a Sophie scarf could I really get out of 50 grams?
This is 25 grams.
Oh dear.
But it's 150 metres.
Right.
Has anyone made a Sophie scarf with this? Or with 25 grams-ish of yarn? I mean, I'm pretty sure I used about 40 at most. I should have weighed it, sorry. I will weigh it actually when we get home, and I'll let you know in the next episode. But I definitely didn't use 50 grams, and I made way bigger. So I'm sure you could make
especially if I go a little bit loosey-goosey with it.
Slightly looser gauge.
I'm just not sure. I mean, maybe this is just a sign to enter my neckerchief era, and I'll end up with a really small Sophie scarf. But
It could be
ideally,
the next Merlin from the BBC.
Oh,
from probably about 20 years ago now. That was great.
That ages us. But yeah, you know I love Merlin.
I think you could pull off a neckerchief.
Oh, well, he does. So yeah, that's, to be honest, the only bit of swag I have with me on this holiday. What do you...
So I have some that I will again have to insert a picture of, because it's quite big and chonky. It's a chonky boy. So I will insert a picture here, which is, I picked it up before the last podcast, totally forgot about it, and then did that thing where I was like unpacking the pile of stuff that lives on the stairs. Do we all have that pile that's like living in mid-stairs waiting to go up? And I was like, deconstructing it, and I was like, ooh, a ball of yarn. So I visited my mum recently in Herefordshire, and there's a lovely bookshop near where she lives that also sells yarn, and it would have been rude not to buy some. So I bought a ball, and I say, a ball, they are like the size of my head. So it's a Sirdar jewel spun, which is similar. You're making your Sirdar sweater with Sirdar jewel spun, but this is a different base. So this is a one with a bit of wool in it, and it's chunky rather than Aran. So it's a thick yarn, and I don't work with chunky very often, but they had some samples of it knitted up. It's really beautiful. It's like a gradient, and the one I bought is called Mother of Pearl, I think. So it's like a really subtle rainbow, beautiful.
So what percentage of actual wool is it versus
that's a question.
acrylic?
I'm going to say something like 10% wool. It's a very low amount of actual wool. So I'm going to make a baby blanket out of it. And I thought, even though it's got a bit of wool in, which I would probably normally steer clear of for a baby, this actually, it felt super soft, and it is quite a small percentage. So I think I can get away with that. I will show it next time. I'll probably cast on the blanket, to be honest, when we get home, because if it's autumn mood, then that's the kind of thing I like to knit when it's a little bit cooler.
So it's going to be very durable, that blanket, isn't it? Yeah,
and it's going to be really nice and soft and drapey again, but nice colours, very sort of unisex rainbow. Yeah, lovely.
So that sounds really exciting.
You know what else is exciting?
What's that?
3 nice things.
3 nice things. Do you want to start?
Sure, I will. So my first one, this is just a tradition now, is that I always recommend another crafting podcast of some sort. And today it's Fran of Franny Do Makes. Her podcast is the most colourful, vibrant, lively, lovely, just like little snippet of my day where I am just filled with inspiration and joy. She chooses beautiful patterns, beautiful yarns, and everything she makes is so joyful and really full of life. I just love it. Like, she puts colour combinations together that I never would have thought of, and I look at it and I'm like, this is beautiful. Why didn't I ever think of putting these together? She's not afraid to use really like big, bright colours, and I am here for it. I absolutely love it. She is also so nice and so funny and so relatable. She's so awesome, and she's even like watched an episode of ours or two, and she's commented, and it's just like I feel like a total fangirl. She's so nice. You must check her out if you haven't watched already. I'm sure you probably have, but she is really awesome, and she even shouted us out, which was so
Really?
lovely.
Oh, I'm definitely going to subscribe for sure.
How are you not subscribed already?
Massive oversight, clearly.
She also has the best glasses with these, the frames. They're so beautiful. If I could pull off a look like that, I fully would. My glasses should definitely be worn more than they are. In fact, I think I need to wear them for knitting. But my sister asked me that recently as I was like peering at my yarn. She's like, do you have your work glasses with you? No, I did not bring them. I am a little blind. But yeah, Fran from Franny Do Makes, please check her out. She is absolutely brilliant, full of joy. You will not regret it. What's your first one?
Well, my first one is just something which I'm really enjoying about visiting another country, which is a huge privilege.
The milk chocolate?
Yes, the milk chocolate, but also the lovely flowers. Where we are staying, have these beautiful roses in the garden.
Should we insert a picture?
Definitely. I just wanted to share that with everyone because they're absolutely gorgeous and
They're
the
beautiful.
smell is divine. I'm just appreciating the nature around us.
Very lovely. You've totally stolen my second nice thing.
What's your second one?
So rude. Oh, we're so incredibly in sync.
Totes.
Well, my second thing is very similar, actually, but this is slightly more general. So anyone who's not living in the UK, you'll be sick of us having said, oh, it's so hot, we've got so many heat waves, but we have, and it has been really hot. Like here it's hot, but we can deal because it's France and we're on holiday. But a couple of weeks ago, it was hot. I think it got to 32 degrees in the day, Celsius, I think. Is that Celsius? Why don't I know that? It was really warm, and my little girl could not sleep. It was 29 degrees in her room, even at 9 p.m. I'd sat in there for an hour. I was losing the plot. She was losing the plot. It was not fun. So I just took her outside, and it was about 9. So it's not a time that I'm usually in the garden because it was getting dark. And we just walked back and forth, and then I sat down. And I just sat in complete silence with the clouds just drifting past. And I thought, I never see this time of day. I never see this sky. There were bats. I didn't know we had bats. I mean, it freaked me out the first time they flew past. But how lovely, like how special and quiet a moment that was. Just to sit in stillness, in silence, in a beautiful, quiet surroundings with the sky just gradually darkening around us. Was really special. So it's just kind of a recommendation, like to go outside at twilight, or maybe a different time of day or night, or maybe really early in the morning. I just never see those colours in that particular sky. It was very peaceful and lovely.
Wow. That's so beautiful.
Did it take 2 hours for her to get to sleep? Yes, it did. But it was, we saw bats. It was magical. What's your second one?
And my second one is I recently noticed in the Ashmolean in Oxford that they had some screen prints from an artist that I'd never come across. And I just wanted to mention that artist so that anyone watching could Google them. This is Peter Hedegaard. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Sounds very fluent.
He's a Danish artist born in 1929 and actually passed away in 2008. But his work is paintings, drawings and screen prints in the 1960s and 70s, and that kind of mid-century design I mentioned last time. But again, this is a kind of artistic flair there. They're really beautiful geometric kind of prints using graduations of colour, which sort of reminded me of, you know, something like a lovely fade that we might hope to knit. So yeah, I will put a link down below to some of his works, because they are really beautiful, I think.
Fantastic.
And very graphical.
I always want to go away and look up your 3 nice things. It's really, you nail it.
Likewise. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is actually a recipe again. We made this actually, I made this while we were here on holiday, and it went down a storm. And so it's actually officially called Sweet Corn Dansack by Riverford, who are a veg box scheme farm producer here in the UK. And they we don't get their subscription actually, but a friend of mine does, and apparently this came as a recipe card. And my friend is called Sally. Shout out to Sally. She is such a beautiful, wonderful person. Oh, she's so calming and lovely.
We love Sally.
We do love Sally, in case you hadn't noticed. She made it for myself and my husband, and so now in our family recipe book it is known as Sally's Sweet Corn Stew. So we heartily recommend. I mean, they call it a dansack, but it's really basically a dal. But it's got sweet corn and spinach in it too, some subtle spicing, coconut milk. It's delicious. They recommend you have it with like a raita, like minty cucumber yogurt, which I forgot to do this time, but none of you noticed. So it's delicious. We have it with rice normally. I will link the recipe below. It should be available around the world. I did check. It's just on their website.
It's absolutely delicious though, so I'd recommend it.
Excellent.
And my last one is actually a podcast recommendation. It turns out that this person, Anton from the Wool Company, was actually at the big vlog, and we didn't get to see him. But I have subsequently discovered that he has an absolutely lovely podcast. I think you'd really like it.
I'm subscribing immediately.
He is a sheep farmer, so some of his episodes are focused on looking after the sheep, but mostly he's just speaking from his cottage about the products that he's making with natural fibre.
Sounds incredible.
And it's so soothing, and just he's got such a lovely vibe. And as ever, I love finding other male knitters out there, partly because it's great for pattern recommendations to fit a certain body type. But yeah, I really recommend Anton's podcast, which is called From the Cottage.
Oh, lovely.
So that's us.
That's us on holiday.
Hope you enjoyed this super kind of rustic episode.
I remembered one thing I was going to say is next weekend we are going to the Southern Wool Show in the UK in Newbury. So if anyone sees us on a Saturday, please feel free to say hello. It's the kind of thing I can't believe we are now getting to say that. We are usually the people who are walking around behind people going, oh my God, is that person with that podcast?
Okay, but we will still be fangirling about people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be really lovely to
please
meet
say hi
if you were there, and I'm so looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm very excited. As if we used to buy more yarn this year. It's hilarious.
As ever, thank you so much for your time and for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we love hearing your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts. So please do comment below. And what are the other things? Liking, subscribing.
Tell your friends if you think they'd like it. We are just absolutely, loving being here. So thank you so much, everyone. We hope you have a lovely few weeks until we're back on your screens again. And see you soon.
Bye.